So why do people from all over the world invest into the United Kingdom? As many of you will know, even if you're not based in the United Kingdom, the UK has always been thought of as being a really great place to invest into property. So why is that? Well, I think there's a number of different reasons. The first one is just how big this market is. If you tot up all of the property across all of the different owners, operators, geographical locations, property types, you'd find a total value of £1.2 trillion, which is a bigger number than most of us, including me, can actually visualize. Well, it's 12 zeros. So I think that the purpose of telling you that is that this is a very large, very mature property market. Now, a lot of the other reasons are, of course, much more tangible. Property here in the UK has always been seen as a very resilient asset class. And what that means is, despite economic downturns, peaks and troughs, if we have a look at graphs, including things like the 2008 credit crisis, which was caused by subprime mortgage lending, we do see that since about the late 1970s, property has on average, risen in value by about 3% per annum, which makes it a really interesting but very, very stable asset class for people around the world to consider investing in. Additionally, property here in the UK has always been thought of as being a hedge against inflation. Whilst I can appreciate that when this video is being filmed, November 2022, we have rather high inflation in the UK. Historically, we've seen inflationary rates anywhere between about 1.5 and 3% per year. So where we have properties that, from a return on investments perspective, can generate anywhere between 8 and 10% per annum, investing into a UK property generally, even if it's not particularly well thought out as an investment, has been seen as a really awesome way to grow your money in a general sense. Secondly, I think people quite like property because we can make money two ways. We have what we call a dual form of income. Rental yield, which we measure as the amount of rent that you're getting on an annual basis, divided by that property's value that year. And the average in the United Kingdom generally is about 4% currently. And capital growth, which is the percentage change in the value of your property over time. And again, as a very general metric, we see about 3% to 4% on an annual basis. So that's great. You know, if we were looking at investing perhaps into a different asset class, we might be speculating on the value of a given asset or only getting a dividend from buying that asset. So investing into property is great because, of course, we can make money two ways. What I think is very attractive to a lot of other people is the concept of leverage, which essentially means that we can use banks, financial institutions to lend against that particular asset. What that means in a simple sense is we don't need to put in all of the money, often only 25% as a minimum, to be able to buy that property. And that means that if a property in general is going up by 4%, the return on your invested capital, which means the 25% that you've put in, is significantly higher. And I think finally, a lot of people look at the UK property market as being something that has a lot more room to grow. Unfortunately, here in the United Kingdom, there is rather permanent shortage of new properties being built, which means, in essence, that the amount of property in the market is always lower than the demand for it. When demand exceeds supply, we get growth in house prices. All of those things combined give us a very general overview as to why the UK property market is such an interesting asset class.